Okay, so this video is going to be a bit more different than what I've usually been doing. We're going to be actually talking about funneling and how to set up like proper trap tunnels when you are in your just regular defenses, right? Of course, this can apply to like storm shields too and stuff, but I'm mainly making this video for people that just do like everyday missions, like whether it's ventures or just 160s or just any other power level, you just queue into a mission, right? That involves some sort of defense, right? So yeah, this is kind of like my little mock site that I made. This is kind of like the restricted data site, and I set up these little metal pillars over here to, you know, I guess be like husk spawns, right? Like that, like this, like the area where husk might spawn. Actually, I think realistically this will be a bit more farther back. So let me fix this real quick. Let me do something like that, right? Yeah, that works. So funneling is something that the game never really tells you, right? It's kind of just like a skill that you pick up on as you like keep playing the game and stuff, or maybe just watch videos and people tell you this thing about funneling, and it's like, oh well, what the hell does that mean? Well, basically, right, it's just setting up debris essentially, or like buildings, so that the husks can go into like one direction, and that way, if they all get funneled into one direction, right, then it should be easier to kill them, right? And to defend the objective from, whether it's smashers or huskies or whatever, right? So the way how I have it set up here, right? With these two spawns, the easiest way to funnel this, right, is to simply just do something like this, right? Where you just get like a wall, right? Like a wall and then like a ramp like that. And you kind of just continue this little wall like down the entire time until you get to a point where it's like, where are they gonna actually come from? So if you actually come from like this perspective of the husk spawns, right? What's gonna happen, right, is that it's like, okay, the husk AI, how it really works, they're kind of lazy, right? They usually take the path that's like the least effort to actually get to the objective, right? So for example, right, because I have it like this, on like this kind of like, I don't know, this like northwestern corner, then they're gonna come from like the shortest way to get to the objective from this northwestern corner, right? So I can already see like an opening that I can do here, right, where I can actually have it kind of like this, where kind of like this, right, where I create like a little bit of a diversion like this. And what should happen here is that when they start spawning over here, then they're all going to get locked in on this little tunnel, right, that I have here, because they see the objective right there, you know what I mean? Right, so if I set up a tunnel like this, then they're all going to get followed into this direction. They're not going to go around this direction because it's already blocked off by the stuff that I put earlier, you know what I mean? And you can even do some extra insurance, right, where you just like encapsulate this in like an entire box, right? This is just like more, um, I guess like insurance pretty much, right? And there's even like a thing that you can do where you can actually edit the floor piece like this and then edit it, the ramp like that, right? And then you just close it off, and that's kind of like how you like make like a proper block off, but I really only did it for like storm shield defenses or whatever. Um, but it is a way of doing it too. And yeah, so from this, right, then you can also like continue it like this, right? I actually wouldn't put it here. I wouldn't put a wall here because the Smasher AI, the way how it kind of works, like if I remember correctly, it's like if they're like within 4 tiles of like the wall of the objective, then they just get kind of pissed off and they start charging. So like there's even a possibility where like the Smasher can like get aggroed right here, right? And because of how big the Smasher hitbox is, then it can actually clip these walls here and damage them. But ideally, right? Ideally, what's gonna happen is that he gets like this point, and then he gets aggro, and then he just runs in a straight line over here to the thing. And I say that's best case scenario because here this is where you put like your tar pits. You know what I mean? Like tar pits here, maybe another one here, a couple here, right? Just for some insurance. And here's where you can put like your wall launchers to like recycle them. Here's where you can put your sound wall to make propanes not throw their to make propanes drop their propane tanks, right? Stuff like that, right? And then just some wooden floor spikes to damage and slow them down as they're walking through. Let the wall launchers do their recycling thing, and then and depending on the mission type, you can also do like gas traps here, right? Gas traps work here as well, or you can also put like ceiling electric fields or tire traps, right? Um, like so, right? So yeah, it's kind of a bunch of things that you can do, right? And this will make your defense so much more smoother. I promise you, right? Instead of I have nothing against like doing like actual like base builds, where like you just create everything around the base. But sometimes I like to shake it up a little bit and do something like this where I literally put nothing around the base and then instead just like to go for tunnels and stuff. It's a bit more riskier, honestly, because stuff can go wrong, especially if like the tunnel gets blown up or something like that. But um, it's still fun to do, right? Oh yeah, and here at the end you can put like a ceiling zapper to like zap like any smasher or any big guy that comes through. So yeah, that's another thing. And then on this side, right, it's kind of like the same concept, where I just wanna okay, well, also yeah, if it continues on like this, and yeah, then of course you want to continue the wall like this, you know what I mean? Wait, let me get rid of that. Just like continue the wall so that it like you don't gotta go like all the way, just go to like up to a point where it like looks reasonable to stop, because the Husk really don't like go all the way around like freaking like 6 tiles worth of structures just to get to the objective. They see okay, there's like literally like free opening right here. I'm just gonna go down here. Some of the Husk though, like the lobbers and the blasters and the zappers, right? The ones that have the guns and they go address me. Those ones. Those ones are pretty have different AI, right? Oh, and same with the pitchers. The Yankees that throw the freaking bones at you. You know, um, those have a bit of different AI. They actually like will go that extra mile. It's kind of annoying sometimes, right? Like I can have like a wall set up like this, and there'd be like some of the zappers or the blasters or the pitchers just like hitting the wall, and it's like, bro, like it's not that serious, Like I don't know. It's just how they're programmed. Um, because those Husks specifically are not actually programmed to like actually destroy the objective. They're actually more programmed to like destroy, I guess you. It sounds a bit weird. I don't want to say it like that. They're meant to program to attack you, right? Um, so yeah, they have a bit of a different mechanic with how they function. And then here as well for like this one, right? Then like here we can also just like create like a wall like this, and even like connect it like this one, right? This actually might be a bit too far up. I think. Yeah, I think it's a bit too far up. But okay, so yeah, so okay, well we have the wall there. That's like a baseline, right? So these guys are coming in from this southwestern corner, right? So what I'm gonna do here is probably make like a zigzag tunnel, kind of like that one, but a bit more, um, I guess, advanced or detailed, right? So the opening that we can have can probably like around like here, right? Kind of like this. I think this works, right? Yeah, yeah. This works. And then we can have something like this, something like this, something like this, right? And then I think the same thing's gonna happen here, where it's like a smasher might just charge like right here, and then it might clip this wall. But I don't think it's that big of an issue. I mean, matter of fact, I can even just like start it over here. Really, yeah, yeah. I mean, I can even, and then I can even like funnel them in like this, right? A little piece right there, and then yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's cool. And then we can just patch up this little spot here with some more walls, like so. And on this angle, we are also going to do the same thing, where you just patch up the openings that it can come through, like so. Perfect. And now they should all get fallen into this little zigzag, and the zigzag tunnel is a tunnel I've showcased before on my channel, where you put a bunch of wall launchers like this, right? And gas traps. I personally like the gas traps for these tunnels, like so. And then here we can have our tar pits, to stop charges or catch anything that might be slipping through, right? Here you can have broadsides or wall darts, doesn't really matter. We'll just broadsides for the fun of it, except over here because it's gonna shoot onto nothing. Um, and then here like another wall launcher can work. Also, fun fact, right? I actually showcased the tunnel with the freeze traps. The freeze traps are actually pretty bad with the wall launcher. That's a blunder on my part. The freeze traps, compared with the wall launcher, actually are not really a good pair. So if you're using wall launchers like this in these zigzags, I actually recommend you using like the wooden floor spikes, or even tar pits, because the husks still get knocked back even when using tar pits. But I actually noticed when using freeze traps, what happens is that the husk gets frozen, right? But then the wall launcher just immediately thaws it out. It doesn't even knock it back. they get staggered a little bit, right? Because they got unthawed, but the wall launcher doesn't like send them back flying over here. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of something to worry to keep in mind when you're setting up these zigzag tunnels with freeze traps. If you're gonna be using freeze traps in these tunnels, then I recommend probably just using like wall darts or something, or wall dynamos. Like an actual wall damaging trap instead of one that is more based around utility and support, like the wall launcher. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much yeah. And then here we can set up our base, right? Like in a situation like this, I probably set up my base kind of like right here where I'm standing. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I have base Kyle right now in my lead, right? So but I have mega base in the support, so my connectivity is 5. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So like this if I put my base like right here on this tile, it should connect. It should base up all of that because of my person. And you can even like um make the base connectivity a bit more like stronger if you just like add some extra pieces like that, so that maybe the ceiling traps can get some based up effectiveness, because especially if running supercharged traps, because if running supercharged traps, then then you get the increase of base damage. I'm sorry, the increased damage of traps that are affected by the base, so that's pretty good. And then yeah, if I put it here as well, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this part of the tunnel, this first tile might not. Oh, this should be a sound wall here too. Yeah, this first part of the tunnel might not get based up, um, which isn't the worst, right? But everything else should get based up, which is pretty good. So, yeah, of course, if you have Mega Base in the lead, then you don't got to worry about, this little detail, of course. But, if you have Base Kyle in the lead, or Power Base, or Ice King in the lead, and you have Mega Base in the support, then, and then you do kind of have to worry about, like, okay, well, my radius is pretty limited. What's the best way I can actually place my base to get the most effectiveness? Because on this tile, we're pretty much encapsulating this whole trap tunnel, and then we're also basing up this trap tunnel as well, and we're also keeping the objective based up too. So, it's kind of a important thing to worry about when playing constructor. But anyways, that was kind of like my little debrief on funneling and stuff, and I'll be right back when I go into the mission and show you guys how I do it. Alright, so I'm in this mission now. It's actually like the perfect example that I wanted to show for this video, because it's a really simple, like, funneling. Oh, I'm not even gonna bother this guy. I don't know why I even picked up the blue glove. But yeah, it's a really simple like funneling technique to do here, because they're only coming from two angles, right? The storm isn't changing. The spawns aren't changing throughout the mission, right? It's just I have to just defend everything from like this like northeast eastern section all the way down to like this southern section, right? And the thing about tropical zones, right? The water's a bit misleading. They don't. The husks really don't travel on the water. Usually, the lobbers might, right? Or like the pitchers or the zappers that I was talking about, right? They might go the extra mile and go all the way around here to hit you, right? Which is it's no big deal. You just shoot them with your bow or whatever. But like the ones that walk on ground, they really don't care. Or they really don't walk all the way around. They just go in like a beeline towards you. Like for example, like here, right, in this corner, right, they're just gonna make a beeline towards the base right here, right? There's nothing weird about this. They're just gonna go straight. The problem is, right, is when there is like kind of like a dip, right, in the elevation. That's when stuff can become a problem, right? Because if you set up like walls around here, right, then what might happen is that the husks might just start hitting the wall, and then you just have like a giant wave of husks coming through one area, right? Because that's where most of them are coming from, instead of the corners here or the outskirts here. Yeah. So how I'm gonna set this up, right? And see, what's really cool is that we have this like building here. Make sure to use the natural terrain. The natural terrain, or like these natural structures that spawn throughout the mission, can help you a lot. Like this already solves like a lot of issues, actually, now that I'm talking about it. And see, I kind of want to funnel everything into one tunnel right here, but I just know something bad's gonna happen if I do that, so I rather not. Um, However, I think what I can do on this one actually is do something like this, where I can actually funnel the husks over here, like so, doing the block offs that I was showing off earlier, right? And what this should hopefully do is block the husks that spawn like up here from actually going like attacking over here, and then they end up dropping like down here. You know what I mean? Right? So, and matter of fact, I can even do like a second layer of defense, like so, like right here, to like give myself some insurance on that as well. And if a smasher comes through, then we'll just kill him. Simple as that. Smashers also have a bit of different AI sometimes, well, when it comes to funnels and block offs. Sometimes smashers will just hit the wall, and just that's kind of just how like what they're programmed to do is just hit the wall first, and then worry about doing stuff like damage to you. So yeah. Over here though, I'm gonna be doing a bit. I'm not gonna be doing that tactic. And matter of fact, I actually am gonna be doing a kind of a cool one. Actually, I'm a big fan of this tunnel that I made my like. I haven't seen anyone else do this tunnel, so I want to say I made it myself because I don't know. It just feels good to call things your own, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure I made it on my own. Where it's just like it's kind of like a 2x2, right? Or not a 2x2. It's like a 2x1x1. Collect my supply drop real quick, right? Like so, and then I just do something like this. Actually, it's Death Bomb. Now we're fine. Doesn't matter. No, that's fine. Well, because normally what I put here is gas traps, right? But it is exploding Death Bombs, so I kind of want to use either tire traps or sealing electric fields. So we'll just use some of that. Like so, right? And then we'll create a piece like that, piece like this, and then another piece like this, like so, and then we'll put some wall launchers over here, tire traps facing backwards like this, so that it gets staggered backwards, some floor spikes, and we'll put a cheeky sound wall as well, and we'll put some wall darts, yeah, that works. And of course we're going to upgrade this too because Death Bomb is annoying. So, yeah, I'll even upgrade the support on the metal over here a little bit. Yeah, cool. And then I guess at the end here we can have like a tar pit, right? Like it's like totally chill. Floor. Oh, I have to get it out from my thing here. Floor, and then like a zapper. Sure, that works. Perfect. I'm also going to tier 3 this as well because Death Bomb is annoying. I do have the perk on my floor spikes and my sound wall that heals attached, I'm pretty sure, so that is some good insurance. You know, we can put like a wall dynamo here, because why not? I think that's nature actually, huh? Whatever, doesn't matter. So, that's one tunnel done, right? And anything else should just drop down here. And I gotta hurry up because the mission's gonna start soon. So over here, right, we're just gonna do something simple as well. We're just gonna funnel them in like this, right? Like so. Once again, they shouldn't really mess around with the water, but I'm gonna put something here just in case, right? And this is a very simple one. I'm just gonna put some freeze traps, like so. Put another one, yeah. And I know some people are probably wondering, why are you building with metal in nature and metal corrosion? Well, it's because the husks aren't really gonna be hitting these walls, and because if this is Death Bomb, then I kind of want to have the highest HP structure to, defend, right? To defend with, so that's why I'm building with metal in this type of zone. So yeah, that's something to do, right? But as you can tell, then I built the actual like defense here in stone, so because that's like the stuff that smashers are most likely going to be attacking and stuff. Where's my tires? Here we go. Like so, tank facing outwards. And yeah, this should be good. I'll probably tier 3 this as well when I finish over here, and then over here, probably gonna do the same thing. Like truthfully, probably just gonna set up some funnels like this, right? I mean, I don't gotta be extra and do all this, but I'm just doing it just for the video, like so. A couple more ramps. And as you guys probably noticed, this is a 160 zone as well, so I am taking this into highest level zone. Of course, everything in my videos is to scale to your own power level. I am just an endgame player, so I have access to all these high level zones. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this one open because I do think some might come out like going this way, so we'll leave that open. Little thing like there. Floor spikes. Where's my sound wall? Where's my sound wall? Sound wall. Freeze. Great upgrade. Broadside. And we'll do some sealing electric fields because I'm feeling a bit unique. Like so. And then tar pit over here. Cool. And tarp it over here. Nice. And then we're just gonna connect everything over here with some floors. And this should be mission start. In just a moment. Oh, anti-airs as well. Yeah, let's get some anti-airs as well. Super quick for propane / lobbers. I'll even put some up here because sometimes I like to hit the roof structures. And some over here as well. Cool. Upgrade all this, and we should have enough time to start the mission, like so. Connect these. Connect all this. Alright, let's see if my... Oh, I wish I didn't... Oh, this would have been the perfect spot to put the base. Okay, and I think here's also a good spot. Like so. Or maybe I can do it like over here. I think this could work too. Because yeah, this should be based up. This is relatively based up. Like so. As long as there are 8 minutes left, we're chilling. Upgraded. Is this based up? These are not based up, unfortunately. They're a bit too far. So maybe I can move it over here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll just move it over there, and then we'll take care of anything else that comes. So, yeah. Get my pod shot ready just in case, and my double boiler. Cool. So, as you can see, okay, so the funnel here did work, right? The funnel here in this area did work. As you can see, that there are husks spawning over here, but they're just dropping down to go in this tunnel. Okay, apparently I'm just the biggest liar on the planet. So, the reason why that happens sometimes, right, it actually depends on, like, where you stand, right? So, depending on where you stand can actually influence, like, where the husks are going to be attacking from and walking towards. So, because I was standing literally right there up front and center, the husker actually wanted to hit those walls. But as you can see, now that I'm back standing near the base, right, then they don't seem to care for hitting the wall anymore, so that's pretty good. And yeah, we got, you know, the funnels are working great. You know, they're all coming in these directions. We are super chilling for the rest of the mission. Admittedly, these are really easy waves that they're throwing at me right now. These are just a bunch of just regular husks, beehive husks, and some huskies that they're sprinkling in, right? So it's nothing special, nothing crazy. The traps are working as intended. We also, oh, I didn't even show my loadout. This is my loadout that I'm using here, by the way. You can pause it if you want to take a look at it. Just base Kyle and leaves, supercharged traps to get more damage, mega base for bigger base, power modulation for some self repair, frozen castle for some snaring, base MD to keep myself healthy, and bomb suit to give me some damage reduction. I find bomb suit very impactful in these bigger zones, or these higher power level zones. Also, this is what I'm talking about. The lobbers and the blasters, they will definitely do their best to try and actually not go into the funnel, right? As you can see, there are blasters in the water. There's some lobber over here as well in the water, right? So, you know, that's just how it is. If this is like a different zone where, you know, it was just void here and not water, then, you know, obviously that wouldn't happen, right? But because of the tropical zone biome, that's just how it is here, you know, it's just is what it is. Okay, so now the waves are ramping up, right? And the cool part about tunnels, right, about trap tunnels, is the fact that you can just worry about killing these bigger targets that are more threatening, and while your tunnels take care of everything else. So for example, like, these tunnels are making complete work of every other husk not named a lobber or a blaster, right? Also, once smashers start spawning too, smashers are also a threat, obviously. Traps just don't do enough damage to reasonably take care of smashers. At least in this power level, right? If it's like a physical, okay, there's smashers spawning now. Oh, I think I have to sneeze. Oh, I think it's a false alarm. Okay. So smashers, we definitely have to take care of these guys. They are public enemy #1. And okay, I just lagged. Can I please play the game? Thank you. All right, cool. The pot shot is fantastic for dealing with smashers, as well as my double boiler. I love this weapon. I will be spreading double boiler propaganda for as long as I play this game. One of my favorite shotguns in the game. Well, if not my favorite shotgun in the game, yeah, then probably one of my favorite weapons in the whole game. So yeah. So now we're having some actual like hard waves, and unfortunately the smasher did clip my broadside here, so that's a blunder on my part. Um, so yeah, that's my mistake, but it's okay. We are chilling. Also, fun fact: if there's a tar pit that's reloading, then you can just use your bull rush as a constructor to stop the smasher from charging still. I mean, of course here I can just put another tar pit, right? But I was feeling lazy, I guess. But yeah, that's a smasher wave taken care of. Tar pit there came in clutch right there. Good job. I got no crits on that one. That's kind of annoying. And yeah, so I mean, I should be putting tar pits here, but it's whatever. I don't really care. Um, Also, yeah, these walls did get a bit damaged, which is fine. Not the end of the world. Bit of a smash area that we just took care of, so that's pretty good. But regardless, you know, the tunnels are still working good. Okay, so here, the death bomb unfortunately was a little bit too much for the freeze trap to handle, because I think it's not based up. Yeah, I think we're like just out of range. So that's a bit unfortunate, really, but it's not the end of the world. I should also be putting some more traps here, actually. If your traps break, guys, don't be afraid to spend some more resources to actually put new ones down. I mean, because like if you don't put down new traps, you know, that just makes it easier to lose the mission. You know, so yeah, keep that in mind. Also, there's a taker somewhere that's gonna kill me. For that guy. So the mini boss should be spawning now as well. So for the mini boss, I just get my black shroom. Really, like, just like that's how it is now. Oh, it's Ricochet. Never mind. Guess we're not killing the mini boss today. So, I don't really want to hit the Ricochet mini boss, even if it's just the Husk, because Ricochet, you know, does damage back to you, right, when you hit it. So, if I wasn't like if I had people with me, right, then obviously this wouldn't be big of an issue. But because I'm by myself and I don't really want me to die, because that's just increased my cortisol level. I'm just not gonna hit the mini boss. I'm just gonna stall him out with the slow field, and then probably bull rush him into the tar pit. Once the slow field expires. So yeah. But as you can see, right, you know, the funnels have been excellent. I have had zero issues of Husks like being weird with their AI, which is great. Also, I see nurses, and when I see nurses, that usually means propane. Are we gonna see propane? Yeah, there's propane. Yeah, well, this is gonna be fun. Okay, so the mini boss expired, but the sound wall came kind of clutch there. Got rid of one propane tank, didn't get the other one though. That's gonna be a problem going forward, but should be okay. I think I did hear Smasher as well spawn. Yeah. So difficulty's ramping up a little bit, but we should be fine still. Cool. I think the mini boss did despawn actually, which is pretty good. Yeah, that's weight off my shoulder. But yeah, as you can see, yeah, because of this propane tank that freaking exploded, a bit more challenge over here on this side now. Tarpit should stop that smasher from charging. There we go. One shot that guy. And the boiler, awesome as always. I got some good crits there. And yeah, I know I just said, you know, don't be afraid to use resources to make traps, but like the mission's already almost over, and like I feel, and my slow field's coming up. I feel like I should put slow field on this tile, and it should be completely fine. Shouldn't have to worry about stuff getting through too much here. So put slow field here, take care of these guys, and just one more foul to go, and we should be chilling. Stop the smash from charging with bull rush, and there we go, mission done. So yeah, that was the video, guys. That was my pretty much elementary levels of funneling and stuff. So yeah, I just had to make sure I was recording there. Yeah, if you guys like what you saw, then please be sure to use my supporter code in the shop, code STOCKINGS. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Join my Discord server as well. I have an invite link in my description. And yeah, I probably will do more videos like this one, where I talk about funneling and traps and stuff like that, especially one where the storm is rotating, right? So yeah, stay tuned for more. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Just hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves, and bye bye.